Do you want to make sure that your investments this bull run outlive the bull run? Well, the best way to do that is to invest in what are called RWAs, or real world asset type crypto projects or tokens. In this video, that's exactly what we're going to cover, and I have a tool for you that is basically this really well organized, enriched spreadsheet that's going to have all this information for you. So without further ado, let's get started. So first off, let us understand what are real world assets. So many of you may know, but for those of you who don't, if we go to Forbes, it says real world assets, also called RWAs, are tokens that represent certain physical assets. It can be property, objects, bonds, or others. Just like other tokens, these function on the blockchain through smart contracts, and one token can amount to a whole object as well as part of it. As we'll see, many of these projects use NFTs, and many of them are now powered by AI. Amazing. So let's hop over to the spreadsheet I put together for you. This will be linked below. And as you'll see on this spreadsheet before you get overwhelmed, there's a list of all the top RWAs, real world asset projects. We have Goldfinch, Mantra, Pendle, Centrifuge, Maple, Ondo Finance, Chainlink, MakerDAO, and OriginTrail. The ones you see highlighted in yellow, these are the ones that check off specific criteria I was looking for in before feeling comfortable to present them as top real world asset projects that, while I'm not allowed to give you financial advice, I would say these are the ones that I feel the most confident in. And actually, of the three highlighted on the screen, I'm already invested in two of them. Centrifuge, I am not, but after doing research for this video, I will very likely be investing in them. As well as, on a personal note, I'll be looking into OriginTrail and Goldfinch for reasons we'll get into in a second. But what I think you'll appreciate in this spreadsheet that I put together for you is that I include, so yes, the token in case you can't find it, the website for each. Then you'll see the summary, because no one wants to go to a random website, even though I'm going to show you this in a second, and have to read it all, right, to find out what it is. So with the power of AI, I actually summarized all of them for you. Next, I included the unique advantage, right? Because that is what's really going to set one project apart. And and my idea and my rationale was that if you could just read it, then you could use your own common sense as well and see how this project actually does stand out in comparison to the others. And then also make sure that it's something you believe in. I'll never forget hearing this from Warren Buffett. They asked him why, he invested in like penny stocks, right? He's had a commodities. Why he invests in commodities. And his rationale, in many words, okay, I'm not saying this verbatim, is basically because he understands them and he likes them. And you'll hear this again and again as well in the crypto space, where many will say, I've heard Alex Becker say this before, I think maybe Elio Trades, don't quote me, but, and it just makes sense, right? Like, don't go invest in something that you don't actually care about, because you're not going to keep up with it, right? Like, I'm not a gamer, so I'm not going to go out of my way to invest in games unless an amazing opportunity comes to me at an amazing price. And I happen to know that the project checks off all the main boxes that tell me, based on my experience that I've learned from those that are, like giants in the space and like just really, really, really accomplished investors, which is a skill. So I admire it. Unless it checks off all the boxes and I know for sure it's going to do well and I'm not going to have to babysit it to know, and if I'm okay holding it in the long run, if it doesn't check off all those boxes, I won't invest in it, because you want to make sure that you're going to be following the news closely for the projects that you believe in. So Back to the spreadsheet, the unique advantage row, the column here, basically will tell you, what's so different and unique about it. And then this is where you want to cross-reference it with what you believe in, because you have to make sure that it's something that's meaningful for you, to you, you know? Next, you're going to see the investors column. And this is important. And I can tell you, this is actually probably going to help you in your investments moving forward, because one of the main criteria in knowing what projects to invest into is in seeing who is backing it. Who are the top funds, and you want them to be tier ones. You may have heard this around on crypto Twitter or heard, other YouTubers maybe talk about it, but it's a signal. Okay, there are trading signals, but this is an investment fundamental signal. When you see a tier one investor, as everyone listed in this column are. So right off the bat, these projects check that list. So moving forward with your other investments, if you see any of these names listed on their website supporting them and investing in them, then you know right off the bat, this project checks the first box, right? Next, you're going to see web partners. This is actually a funny labeling from ChatGPT, but you'll see that many of the investors are also partners, but some of them are not, right? As we can see here with MakerDAO, their investors are one, but on their partner side of things, we have Polkadot and Chainlink, for instance, right? Next column are all the chains. And this should be helpful to you. It's not included on the spreadsheet, but the simple fact that all of these projects are either Ethereum or Polkadot based, this tells us that they are going to be available for sale on Uniswap or pretty much any DEX, right? So there's 1inch, there's PancakeSwap, there's Uniswap. I use Uniswap a lot. I don't know. I think it's just like mental muscle memory. Next, these are all the founders, so you can go look them up. This is important too. I would say the investors list is almost just as telling. Like if it's a powerful investor, you can almost right off the bat know that the founders are good, because these investors would not invest in these founders if they were not good, right? But since this channel is about educating you and it's so important to do your own research, I included the founders so you can go search for them on LinkedIn and Twitter and go learn about them, because we want to make sure that they're qualified, right? Next, the next column is when they were founded. And this I just find interesting, and it can be quite telling, because if the project was just founded, so on this list, we have everyone is pretty much from like the earliest projects were founded in 2021. So 3 years ago, that's a decent amount of time, right, to have built a project. So it tells you it's not vaporware. It tells you, okay, these people put real time into a project. I can tell you firsthand, I have been part of launching a project and been part of helping other new projects come to market. And so I know firsthand how long it takes to bring a project to market. And okay, you can rush it, but really a good project is at least 2 years, I would say. You can do it in 1 year if you bring a team together that has all the parts and they come together. But if you're building something, at least 2 years. I mean, that's my opinion. I mean, let me know if you've built a project and you disagree with me. But next, I included a column on the supporting wallets, because I've heard this before and I'm going to start doing this moving forward for you. But just right off the bat, if you want to know which wallet is going to support these projects once you buy them, here you go. Okay, it's mainly MetaMask, Trust Wallet, and like, yeah, Polkadot. And then I included token holders because I feel like it's a good sign. This has lately been a whole conversation. Well, a few weeks ago, it was a big conversation. I'm actually going to do a video explaining it, but we have Kobe writing on Substack, um, basically talking about how the crypto market, this is a completely different conversation, so I'm not going to completely get into it. But what I can say is that yes, I will be making a video solely on unpacking and de-riddling and unriddling and simplifying why specific information on projects and how many token holders it has, and whether, like, it was mainly led by VCs and funds, which most projects are outside of meme coins, which is why meme coins are all the hype and rage, I would say, this bull run, and for many good reasons, because no one can front run meme coins, right? That's not the point of this video, so I'm not going to get into it too much. But back to the spreadsheet, I have included token holders because it tells you how distributed, right? How evenly spread out the token's value is. And the more distributed or spread out it is, the more stable it's going to be, because, right, we hear of whales all the time. So if a whale or somebody has, if it only has a few whales, right, or big token holders, then they can tank the price if they sell. So having many token holders is a good sign. So here you can see how many token holders it has. That said, let us get started. So I already opened all of these links for you. But okay, before we do, let's just read through them. Okay, so you can see Goldfinch is a global credit protocol enabling the tokenization of real world assets for integration into DeFi and lending markets. So basically, it enables lending in like developing nations, and it's all on blockchain, so it's like transparent. And so it's just really like a touching project, especially if you're from a developing nation or your family, if you have roots in that direction, as I do on my dad's side, to South America. It's a big deal, right? Because you would be in tune with how those markets are and how hard it is to really break out and become an entrepreneur. A successful business person in these countries is like significantly harder, like times 100 harder than it is in America or in Europe. Next, we have MakerDAO, and MakerDAO is basically it's a project dedicated to the tokenization of real assets. Third, we have Pendle, which is a decentralized protocol for managing yield-bearing assets. So this is like if you're into like DeFi, or you want to, basically like go stake or lend your assets and you want to earn a yield on them. So this is very niche. You would have to be into this, right, to be the most successful in it. Next, we have Centrifuge. As you can see, is highlighted in yellow. So it is one of the projects that we're focusing on in this video that checks off all the boxes. This means it has a unique use case, it has strong marketing, because you can have a good product, but if you don't have good marketing, which means good partners, good distribution, good sponsorships, then you're just not really going to get the word out there. So Centrifuge checks all those boxes, which is why it's highlighted in yellow. And it's basically what it is, as you can see on the screen, it's the tokenization of real world assets like real estate and invoices. So it simplifies the whole real estate market, which is awesome. I used to be in real estate years ago. I did like a pretty hardcore internship with all these like hardcore like investor moguls that taught me all the ins and outs of how to do it. But anyway, so that's really awesome. So if you're into real estate, then Centrifuge could be interesting for you. Next, we have Maple. Maple, I hadn't personally heard of before, but as you can see, it's backed by like some pretty big VCs and funds. So it sends a really good solid message. And as you can see here, next to it. So let's just stay in order. It enhances liquidity and accessibility of real world assets by tokenizing them for trade on decentralized platforms. And what's unique about it is it addresses the liquidity issue of traditional assets and promotes broader investment opportunities. So you can go read more about them on their website, which is linked here, which will be linked below for you. But next we have Ondo. I'm personally invested into Ondo. I jumped on Ondo right away because it just made sense to me. Because I heard Gary Gensler talking about how, was it Gary Gensler? I think it was Gary Gensler talking about how he saw the tokenization of real world assets as financial assets, sorry, as the next main area that crypto could highly like maximize and disrupt basically. And so I jumped on Ondo a long time ago. I also shared it on my channel. So if you've been following me, congratulations. Well, if you bought it, right? So it basically tokenizes high grade investment products like mortgage backed securities and treasury bills, right? So we know it's all the talk right now is about the Ethereum ETFs and how they got approved, but hey, when are they going to be tradable? All these things, right? And many are talking about Solana's next and maybe XRP, who knows? But I think what's coming is other forms of financial instruments, right? So Ondo is a big one, has huge marketing, a lot of partners, big backers. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to democratize investments traditionally reserved for institutions. So Ondo is a big one. Next is Chainlink. We love Chainlink. Okay. I invested in Chainlink a long time ago. And if you go to their website, which this is why I linked it for you, go scroll to the bottom and go check out like their partners. There's a whole section on this, and you will see that they are partnered with some like mammoth financial organizations, institutions, and their volume is going to be outrageous because they're basically, as I've heard Kyle say, it's like the mycelium. It's like the net that connects old world with new world, Web 2 to Web 3, institutions and finance and information. It's a information oracle, distributed information oracle chain. So really awesome. I was already invested in Chainlink, but truthfully, I didn't know that it was considered a real world asset type project. I just was thinking of them as oracles, but I didn't know that you would consider them an RWA, a real world asset. So pretty awesome. And it checks off all the other boxes, right? And they've been working on it for a long time, since 2017. Next, we have MakerDAO. MakerDAO is also like a DeFi type RWA, real world asset. And it basically, it facilitates lending and borrowing using their stablecoin, DAI. And it's just proven to be stable and reliable as a DeFi protocol. So once again, but it has to be your thing. I think that's what I want to stress is unless you have the budget to spare and you kind of want to distribute your investment across all the top RWAs, well, then here you go. I gave it to you. You're welcome. And I'm not sponsored, by the way. I am only invested in these as I have personally decided to invest into. And as I said, the only two I have been invested into, I think I owned some Mantra a long time ago, but I think I sold it during the bear market. Yeah. But I was already invested in Ondo and Chainlink. But yeah, now I'm going to go invest in Centrifuge as well. And Pendle. I think Pendle is great. Personal call though. Next we have OriginTrail at the very end. I will say that, okay, so what is it, right? It's actually very useful. It's basically a project or a real world asset that democratizes and decentralizes for transparency the supply chain. So say you buy shoes, you buy a watch, you buy whatever you do, and you want to know what it's made of, and you want to make sure that it's true, and you want to make sure that it's transparent. Well, OriginTrail, which has been around for a very long time, since 2013, they are this supply chain. See over here. Improves supply chain efficiency and data integrity and addresses misinformation. Big deal. Big deal. Yeah, so here's the chart for you guys. You're welcome. I will link it below. And just quickly, I will show you each of their websites so you're sure you're on the right website. Okay, OriginTrail's here. MakerDAO. Maple. Pendle. Mantra. Goldfinch. Centrifuge. And then the 3 top recommended. I'm not sponsored. It's not financial advice. I was already invested in them. But Ondo, okay, Chainlink, some monster, and Centrifuge, which I covered a moment ago. So here you go, guys. As I said, you can go to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap or Dex Tools. I think I'm going to make a tools video for you on the top tools. But go here, you go to my spreadsheet, okay? This is the name, project name. This is the token. You can search for the token. So let's look for Goldfinch, copy. Come over here to search, paste. Hello. Goldfinch, see? There you go. I feel like searching by the ticker is more truthful because many will try to use the same name because the crypto space is fast and you have a lot of people trying to capitalize on different projects. But no one can have the same ticker. So if you search for the ticker, which I give you in the spreadsheet here, type that in and then click on the right one. And then when you go there, as I've said before, you go down to the left-hand side and you can see the contract address here. You click on it. Many of you guys know this already, but this is for the new people too, okay? Yeah, and you can buy it on different dexes, right? So here you can see you can buy it on Uniswap, Gate.io, Coinbase. But okay, guys, I hope you found it useful. I know it's kind of fast, but let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer questions in more detail, but I did want to respect your time, and I feel like the spreadsheet says it all. And then once again, it's been in the news. Where's the latest news? I wanted to show you guys 1 second. So we know that Polkadot, this is like recent, Polkadot is making significant strides into real world assets. And we saw that on my spreadsheet a moment ago. Mantra is actually built on Polkadot. See there? Which is awesome because the rest of them on my spreadsheet, the rest of the projects are all Ethereum. See? But so in the Polkadot is making strides, which is pretty awesome because Polkadot needed a little boost. But anyway, guys, I hope you found this video useful. Let me know if you have specific questions. But once again, I feel like the spreadsheet pretty much gives it all to you. And once again, it's important to consider investing in long-term projects despite your investment risk appetite. We know Bitcoin is a gold standard. That's a whole other conversation. I will be bringing you market updates tomorrow, but for the sake of this video, it's important. I've seen it in the news a lot lately. Real world assets are ranking as one of the top performing crypto project types, and for good reason, because the ETFs have been approved, and so we know that this has institutional old money thinking seriously about crypto and how else it can be used. And it just makes sense to tokenize real world assets. And so there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the spreadsheet. Let me know if you have questions once again. And I will be back here tomorrow for you. Love you very much. Take care. Be safe out there. But get ready because the bull run is coming fast. It's coming, guys, any day. All right. Love you. Ciao.